Good morning. This is Mrs. McDonald, and I am your teacher's either 11th or 12th grade teacher. I teach exclusively 11th and 12th grade for the FSA, SAT, ACT class, basically a reading class because your child still has not found success with the reading benchmark. Having said that, we have a little caveat because some seniors, almost 40, I think 39, have just received in the last 24, 48 hours passing scores, and then some about a week and a half ago with the SAT. So those seniors have now found success, and I'm thrilled for them. We'll talk about them in just a minute. But for the most part, that is why your student is with me. They still need to pass the reading benchmark. The reading benchmark can be attained by either passing the FSA, which they have taken. Those results will come back. We're thinking like mid-December, second or third week of December, something in that range. The ACT, which some juniors have signed up for, some seniors have signed up for, that test is on December 10th, I believe it is. I can't see the board from where I'm sitting now. Or the SAT, and there is an SAT on December the 3rd. Some students have signed up for that as well. Those are the three upcoming results that we're waiting on and or ways to pass. When we get those FSA results, for sure, I will be sharing those with students so they'll know if they've passed. All right, so now let's talk about our grade in my class first. The grade that your student has in my class hopefully is a whole lot better than last quarter. If you watched my video last time, you know I was in South Carolina about 7 weeks. My mother got very ill and I had to be with her, take care of her, and then she ultimately passed away. So I was gone, but that's no excuse for all the Fs. There were 41% of the students that got Fs. That's just unconscionable. They have to live with those consequences. I have encouraged them strongly to get their grade up higher this quarter so that at least it levels out. They need to have at least a C to get credit for this 9 weeks. A C would be a 70. So if your student has less than a 70 and they had an F last 9 weeks, they're going to not get credit for this class, and their GPA will most definitely will be going down. So that's on a negative note, but on a positive note, I do have many students who have good grades. In my class, you should have an A or a B all the time. As long as you complete the work, you're going to pass. Many things are graded just on did you complete it. I have the students write their grades down in every class every Friday. This past week we did it on Monday because we weren't here Friday and Thursday. But something like that, something as simple as writing down all of your grades in all your classes gets 100. So there's no way a student should be failing my class. There is just absolutely no way. If they're working, they are not failing. So if your student has a failing grade, you need to have a heart-to-heart with your student. I probably already have. They've probably received multiple messages. I've probably talked to them in class, but maybe you need to support them as well. I highly encourage you to ask them to open their Canvas and show you their classes. You can see all their classes. For my class in particular, go into assignments, click on it, and then anything that they have a 0 is something they chose not to do. If it's still open, I will still take it. It may not be for full credit, but some credit is better than no credit. Last quarter, I left things open pretty much the whole quarter because I knew there was a lot going on. They supposedly were confused with the sub. That's not true. Mrs. Huff next door came over every day and wrote on the board what they were supposed to do. So they knew what to do. They just chose not to last time. But this time I'm here and I'm trying very hard to help your student get a good grade. Please partner with me on that. All right, next. Juniors are going to get an opportunity that they've never had before. Juniors who have not yet passed the benchmark are going to get to take the extended time ACT in February. So we're working on something new. We just got a program going. It's called Chalk Talk. It's going to help them with both reading and English skills in an online program. Okay, I am still teaching. It's not like I'm giving them the computer and saying go. We will still be working on the skills. I'll be going over the skills with them, and then they'll go on Chalk Talk to take little small tests. They've already done like a prescriptive so that we know where they are. Ask your student, where are they? They need to have an average of a reading and an English score of an 18. Many students are nowhere near that. There are many that are below a 10. There are a good number that are between maybe a 12 and a 14. There are a few that have an 18 or above. I think there were 6 that had 18 or above. So your student may be one of those, and if that's it, way to go. But you need to know what that score is. They are finishing today the reading, so they should be able to tell you what their combined score is, their average score. They may say their reading is a 15 and their English is a 20. Well, that would be awesome, because that would average out to a 17.5, 17.5 rounds up to an 18. That would be a passing score. Once they achieve the passing score, they stay in my class for that semester, but then they are able to get out the following semester. And that's where we go with our seniors right now. Seniors that have passed the benchmark are with me until the end of the quarter. We do have an exam for this class. Everybody, whether you pass the benchmark or not, has to take the exam. So they are in my class. They have a couple of options. They have to first catch up on everything in my class. Second, they are to work on Edgenuity. If they are in a recovery class or have an online class, they can do that during my class period now, instead of doing what the other students are doing. All right. The next thing they can do is to work on things from other classes. So their grades, if your kid just passed, their grades should all be going up. Their Edgenuity should be finishing. I am highly encouraging them, if they have a GPA issue, there's jeopardy of not graduating, for them to go ahead and sign up for an online class. Use my class period to finish that online class. They're going to have computers available for them. I have a laptop cart now in the classroom every day. So they are able to catch up on all of that work that they may be missing, or things that are going to help them as an overall student. You probably are getting the notion. I am all about your overall student. I care about their grades and other classes. That's why I ask them to send me those grades every Friday. And we have those conversations about what do we need to do in other classes, not just mine, in all classes. All right, so that hits seniors that are already done. They should have already, they've already passed. They should have already sent their counselor a message so that they, so that they can get a new class for next semester. Many of them just found out in the last 24 hours, so maybe they haven't done that. I'll remind them again today, but you need to ask them, what class are you taking instead of Miss McDonald's class? Because they need to take something that's going to further them towards graduation. All right, all seniors are going to be taking that same extended time ACT in February if they haven't found success yet. Many of the seniors are signed up for the ACT and the SAT, and some of the juniors have done that. Their SAT is on December the 3rd, and the ACT is on December the 10th. That's on a Saturday. They need to be here at 7:45. They need to stay until at least, it kind of depends, each room is different, but 12:15, 12:30, it should be about the same amount of time for them to finish. So if they haven't found success after the start of the new year, then all of my juniors and all of the seniors that are left with me will be taking the extended time ACT. You get triple amount of time. The one test, the reading test in particular, is 35 minutes normally, but then they would get what would that be? 2 hours and 15 minutes to finish a 35-minute normal time test. So that's an incredible gift for them to have the extra time. Many students passed with that 3 times the amount of time. Juniors will take the SAT regular time in March. I don't know that I have that exact date yet. I think I do not. I think it's a Wednesday right before our spring break, but I don't know if we've gone official with that date, but that's probably when it'll be. On that same day, the seniors will also take the SAT that are left with me, but it will be at time and a half. So that's a good day for everyone, juniors and seniors, to be able to pass with the SAT. And let me make this clear. They haven't passed the benchmark yet because they haven't passed one of these. They don't have to pass all 3, just one. The FSA, the SAT, or the ACT. It doesn't matter which one. They just need to find success with one of these. Many students do well at one test and not the other. It's more of a skills and maybe what you've been exposed to, what you're best at, what style works best with you. Because people ask me all the time, well, which is the best one? There is no best one. It's which is best for you. And I try to help students see the differences in them. I talk about those a lot. And if they're listening, hopefully they're figuring out which one is best for them. All right, so we've talked about grades in my class. We've talked about the benchmarks and when they can take them and how to pass them. The passing numbers, let me talk about that. For an FSA, they have to have at least a 350. For the SAT, they need to have a 480 on the reading, writing, language. And on the ACT, they need an English and reading average of 18. Your students know all this. If they tell you they don't, then they're just not listening in class because it's on the boards. They have it written in their notebooks, and I say it constantly. They should know these numbers. They should know what they need to do. They should know how close they are because we have looked at those numbers. They have looked at their own numbers, so they should know these things. The other thing, because I was gone a while, I have not done a lot of the Saturday practices. We normally do from 9 to 12 mini Saturdays. Those will start back up in January so that if you want your student to come and concentrate for 3 hours on either the math, because some of us still need to pass the math benchmark. That's a great time to come and work with Mrs. Epperson. She's the other side. I'm the reading English side. She's the math side. And we come in, we give up our Saturdays and we come in to help students. I hope that you will encourage your student to come to that when we're able to do those again. We only did 2, I think it was, because of the way the calendar falls. There were things already at school and I couldn't get on the calendar once I came back. I thought I was going to be gone 3 months. My mother passed much quicker than that. So I was not gone the full 3 months. So I didn't put anything on the calendar. And after things are already taken, I can't get back on the calendar. It's just a logistics thing. I will be offering some help after school on Thursdays. I had planned to do it this Thursday, totally forgetting that it was conference night. So I won't be able to do it this Thursday. But when we come back, the Thursday before they take the test on that Saturday, if they're taking the Saturday SAT, they can come here on Thursday and I will help them through. Extra stuff. Of course, I'm doing things in class every day that are going to help them. If you have questions, please reach out to me. I would like you to join my parent text group. I do not send a lot of messages, but the messages I send are very important. Like, when did I get scores? Monday I sent out to the parent group, I have ACT scores. If you'd like to know your student's ACT score, send me a message. And I had a lot of parents that did that. And I was able to very quickly give the parent the information so that they knew if their student had passed or not. If you're not in my text group, easiest thing for you to do is use this number. This is my Google Voice number. It's 813-406-0182. 813-406-0182. Send me a message and say, how do I join your text group? If you'll put your number, but here's my phone number. If you'll send me your phone number, I will send you a request to join. You also probably saw that, or maybe you didn't notice it. It was on the syllabus, how to join. It was also in an assignment. The student was supposed to tell you that and let you join. Because that's a good way for us to team together. If you have any questions, you're welcome to send me questions on that Google number or in that text group or send me a Canvas message. I'll be honest, it takes a little longer for me to get to the Canvas messages. So if you want to get to me quickly, you want to answer, you got a question at 6 o'clock or 6 o'clock p.m., you send me a message on that Remind and I answer them. Pretty much, let me tell you this, if your kid says, no, she just hadn't graded my work, that is not true. I rarely go to sleep until everything is graded. I'm a big Lightning fan. You can see back here. So if it's a Lightning game, I may not get them all done, but I did last night. I'll do it on the breaks. Everything that was sent to me yesterday was graded by about 10:30 or 11 o'clock last night. Once in a while, I don't, if I've got something else going on. But for the most part, if they send it to me one day, it is graded that day. So my teacher didn't grade anything does not go in my class. If you hear that excuse, that's exactly what it is. They probably need to do something. The other thing is if they have a 5, that means they turned it in, but they didn't complete it correctly. They didn't follow directions. They didn't finish something. They didn't have, there's lots of different things, and they'll know. They'll, if they're honest with themselves, they know what they did wrong. If there's an issue, you're welcome to text me, or the student can certainly text me or email me on Canvas or ask me in class, what did I do wrong? First thing I'm going to tell them is go read the instructions, because usually once they read the instructions, they see what they didn't do. On a note for that, I try really hard to put everything possible in the Canvas assignments. If we do something that's on paper, I take pictures of it, I PDF it, I put it up to the assignment. If your student is absent, they are still required to do their work. And in my class, they can continue to do the work even if they're not on campus. So I hope this answered questions. I would love to meet many of you at Parent Conference Night, which is on the 17th on Thursday from 4 to 6:30. I know that time frame doesn't work for some. That's why I make this video. Also, your student can get extra credit in my class for having you watch this video. Okay, I know some of you don't want to be on camera. I promise I really just want to see for sure that you did that, but it is nice to know, to get to see some of you, because it's kind of cool to see the resemblance of parents and students. But I need a picture. If you don't want to be pictured, just have your student take it behind so that I can see that you're watching my video, and have them take a picture of that, and they'll know how to submit to get credit for that. If you need anything, let me know. I am here for your student to help them find success. That's what my job is, and I work really hard to try to help your student every day. Thank you.